Melanie is in Georgia. Hi, Melanie. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. How about you?
Good. Blessed and highly favored.
Cool.
So I recently resigned from corporate America to get out of the rat race and follow God's purpose for my life and to figure out what the rest of my life should look like. We're a family of four. I'm married. My husband is disabled, and we have two children, preteen, teenager. My corporate job was like 85 to 90% of our income. So now we're living off his disability check, which is like $22,000 a year, and child support as well. We have no debt. So when I was working, we were on baby step 6. We have no debt except the mortgage, which is like $66,000. But now that we're living off my husband's check, we're back to baby step 1 because we've used up our emergency fund. But we do have a long-term savings, which we pull from to supplement the disability check. So I'm just kind of in a position where I don't know what to do because we believe in the steps and we were doing the steps. We were almost baby step 7, but now we're kind of back to start 1.
Okay. So what is your career plan?
Well, the career that I was in, I resigned from corporate America because I knew that wasn't where I belonged. So right now what I'm doing is I have the freedom and the time, because I didn't have the freedom and time before, but now I have freedom and time to really seek out God's purpose for me and follow like what my gifts and my passions are. I don't necessarily have a career plan right now. It's more of like just building my relationship with God and figuring out who he called me to be and what he called me to do, or whether it be preaching, teaching. Now I have the freedom to figure that out, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I completely agree with your goal of finding God's purpose. I'm not sure I agree with your process for getting to your goal.
Okay.
Because your family's starving to death. And that's
not completely, but I mean,
and that's not God's purpose for you.
Right, exactly. No,
he that doesn't take care of his own household is
stamps.
worse than an unbeliever.
Right. No, we've applied for food stamps. We're not completely starving, but we did apply for food stamps.
You're kidding me. And you're going to call that God's purpose, that you walked out of an $85,000 a year job and now you're on food stamps, and that's God's purpose?
No, I didn't.
Not even close.
No. I'm just talking about me not being in the rat race for the next 50 years of my life.
I didn't want you to stay in the rat race. I said I agreed with your goals. I just don't agree with how you're getting to them because you've left your family vulnerable. So you got about 30 seconds to get some income coming in.
Okay.
While you're searching for God's purpose.
Okay.
Working while you search for God's purpose is possible. Now, possible you were in a toxic environment with 80 hours a week and they weren't, they were devaluing you as a human and you were a rat in a wheel and you needed to get out of there. I don't have any argument with that. Walking out cold without a plan is not biblical. So I want you to develop a plan here where, 24-hour-a-day meditation is not feeding your family.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to create an $80,000 a year income. We know that. You were doing it before. Now, I'm not suggesting you go back to a toxic environment. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying you need to abandon searching for God's purpose for your life. I want everyone to find that. I'm blessed in that I have found it. But along the way, you feed your family. That is also God's purpose for your life.
Okay.
And so your family's starving, and you have this fabulous ability to earn a living. What were you doing before?
Training, communications, marketing, a lot of media work. And I've been helping my husband because he's an entrepreneur. So I have been using my gifts to help his business. He's a speaker, author, entrepreneur. And then I've also been looking into photography, like taking photography classes to generate income possibly that way. So I have been using my gifts while I'm off work.
But you're not making any money.
Correct. I'm not generating income, but I am.
You need to generate some income because you're articulate, you're bright, you're a great teacher, communicator, trainer. You ought to be able to do something for a little while, even if it's not, maybe Paul making tents. You know what I'm talking about?
What's that?
You remember when the Apostle Paul made tents in the Bible? In the Bible.
I don't think that I know that one.
Okay, all right. Well, long before he was the Apostle Paul, after he met God, he was on the backside of the desert looking for God's purpose, and he was a tent maker. He made a living. He made a
Okay.
living
Okay.
as a tent maker while he was waiting, and later we know him as the writer of most of the New Testament. But in the meantime, he didn't starve. He worked
Yeah.
while he was searching for God's purpose, and made money while he was searching for God's purpose. And so I think that's the part that I'm missing in your story that I want to, as gently and kindly as I can. And I don't want you to hear me rebuking where you're going. It's just how you're getting there, because you are so valuable in the marketplace. You're worth $60,000 to $120,000 a year in the marketplace. You have proven that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your family needs you to be worth that.
Yeah, I agree. I want to generate income. I just don't want to do it the way I was doing it.
I don't disagree with that, but you need to get with it,
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm trying. I guess what I'm trying to figure out what that.
And you don't have long. You're on food stamps. When you have the ability to make you have the ability to make $85,000, you're on food stamps. So I mean, time's up. Go make some money. Doing something, even if it's not the exact perfect thing you think it has to be. You're not going to find this perfect thing, by the way, where you go, oh, that's it, that's the whole thing. It never is. There's always parts of everything you do this side of heaven that are unfun. I've got the best life in the world, and there's parts of what I do is unfun every day. So I get to do this show, which is 3 hours of fun every day, and that's God's payback for some of the crap I have to do the parts of the time. So, you need to go make some money, kiddo, in a way that is not the old way, but is not the perfect utopian new way you've dialed up in your mind. And and you can find God's purpose on that. So I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book. I think it'll help you a lot. It's called The Proximity Principle. And I will help you on this journey, but I want you to get back to making some money today, for your family. There's just that is a process while you're looking for His purpose. That's what you need to do, because it's a shame that you're not making money, and because you have the ability to. You're just a bright lady, and you can do all these things. So hold on, we'll send you a copy of that.